1983, off the coast of Australia, a small yacht capsizes in rough seas. 3 friends are thrown into open water, miles from shore. No cage, no rescue, just survival. The nearest land is a distant reef. Their only chance is to swim. But they are not alone. A deadly shark begins to circle beneath them. Hours pass. It follows, watching, waiting. They stay close, hoping numbers will keep them alive. Then, the strike. One man is taken in a sudden burst of water and silence. The others keep swimming, exhausted, terrified. Only one, Ray Boundy, reaches the reef alive. This attack would inspire the 2010 film, The Reef. But unlike the movies, this really happened.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Grave Media. This is Josh here, and I'm checking in on you out there in YouTube land. I'm serious, man. It's great to see you. I missed you. I know it's only been a day, but I love getting on here. I love spending time with you because you're real. And on this channel, we can be real. We can say the F word. We can talk about creature features. We can recount true stories and really get into the nitty-gritty once in a while. And that's kind of what I'm here to do tonight. So if you'll just bear with me, we need to forget things like Deep Blue Sea. Okay, we need to forget open water. As great as that was in the theater, as boring as that was until it wasn't boring at all. The Shallows, the Meg, 47 meters down. Unless really you're talking about apex predator fucking lingo like Jaws, I don't want to hear it. Unless we're talking about 2010's masterpiece, The Reef. Now, I know what you're going to say. But Josh, dude, there's a lot of great shark movies out there. Don't kink-shame my freak. Just let me be, man. Some of you guys want to hype Shark Night, Sharknado, or maybe even Bait. I think that's kind of fun once in a while. I mean, I'm a shark enthusiast. I absolutely love sharks. But for this venture, it's got to be The Reef, man. If you haven't heard the story is terrifying. The story deserves to be told. What we're going to do is we're going to change up the kind of shark that attacks them. We're going to play with a little bit of the characters, but the true story, we got to go back in time. Okay, we got to go back all the way to July of 1983, where Ray Boundy decides to set sail in Australia for the Great Barrier Reef to do a little bit of fishing. Ray Boundy was the skipper of the new venture, which was a 45-foot trawler, and he was 27 years old. He was on board with Dennis Smiley Murphy, his best friend and also second captain, and then as well as his girlfriend, Linda Horton. Now, this trip was cut tragically short, unfortunately. Painfully, they were doing their jobs until a freak storm flipped their trawler upside down with a rogue wave, capsizing their boat. Now, they had some time to decide what they were going to do. They go under the water, they find like an air pocket, they decide to search for a distress beacon, right? A cooler, something that they can make some sort of makeshift paddleboard out of. And that works for a little while until they realize that if this thing goes down, they're going down with it, and maybe there won't be any boats that pass by, a helicopter, no one's going to know they're missing. How are they going to ever be found? And they're left with an impossible choice: to swim to the reef. Now, in the movie, there's 4 people in the story. In the actual story, there was just 3. Kind of a small crew, if you think about it. And what they decide to do is tread water and swim for the Great Barrier Reef, which is not close by. They need to float. And it's an exhausting and painful choice to make. Unfortunately, with no lifeboats, there was really no distress signal that could be found. There was just 3 souls clinging to a surfboard and a styrofoam cooler in the pitch black. But they weren't alone in that drift. You see, a 15-foot tiger shark, a literal prehistoric killing machine, as they say in Jaws, was tracking their every move. The first hit was on Smiley, Dennis, and it took his leg. In an act of absolute desperate resolve, he decides to swim away from the group, taking the tiger shark with him, screaming in the black darkness. Can you even imagine that? Heartbreaking bravery before going down and dragged into the black abyss. I can't even imagine. A few hours later, the nightmare comes back for seconds. This time, it was Linda. Ray was literally holding her hand before the sea and the shark stole her from him and brought her down with nothing more than a whimper. Ray had a choice to make. I can try to fight this shark, or I can swim my ass off. And that he was getting attacked as well. He was getting bit in the legs by the similar shark. And with some sort of adrenaline rush, he decided to swim his ass off for the reef, and he finally makes it. Not to be rescued until Tuesday, a few days later, 36 hours after the boat sinks. Crazy story. Crazy, gripping, fucking incredible story. And for stories like that, sometimes you don't want CGI. Sometimes you don't want there to be a bunch of silly romance and bad food and drinks spilled, and you don't want hope when these stories are so desperate for survival. You want raw, unfiltered realism. Kind of like what we're doing right now, just having a conversation about it. And that's what you get with The Reef. And this movie delivers on so many levels. Now, this is by the same director of Black Water, the killer crocodile movie about the mangrove. That's another true account. This guy really knows what he's doing. I shouldn't say this guy. His name is director Andrew Trauke. And he knows what he's doing. What's cool about his filming style is he doesn't use a bunch of CGI. He uses practical effects and practical sharks. So what you'll have is real people in real situations swimming around. Now, obviously, the sharks that they use in the movie are filmed, and they kind of intersplice the footage and the gore that is in there. It's set up practically, and it's very, very effective that way. I actually think that's how I wish all creature features were done. Even though I love some CGI, like that new movie Beast of War, the other Australian kind of Indianapolis story. That's on Shudder right now. That's an incredible movie. That's a great film done with crazy CGI, crazy color. But sometimes you just want raw, real, unedited footage, and that's what you get with The Reef. It is so good. Now, before we get into the rest of the story, that's what happens is, Ray decides to swim, and he survives. He is the only one left at the party. He tells this incredible tale, and it's just kind of heartbreaking. There's a bunch of news articles about it. There's some good documentary type of stuff on there, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of that on this release. But what this release does do is tell you on the back cover, lovely place to visit, ugly way to die. The Reef, as far as a Blu-ray goes, is one of the best Blu-rays I've ever seen. Now, when I think of best Blu-rays, a lot of times you think of like House of a Thousand Corpses, that's got like this kind of digital but like very sharp, crisp, real kind of look to it. This looks like a 4K disc. I don't know what they did with this movie. I don't think it's my settings, but this looks so fucking good for a Blu-ray. Like, it's unbelievable. I'm telling everybody, no matter what, pick this thing up. It's affordable. It's on the Movie Room right now. Go there, use my code Beyond10. Okay, this is, so far for me, Blu-ray of the year, if nothing else, for the effects and the way that it is so blue. It is like, it just pops off the screen, man. It's got great audio. It's a reference quality 4K. And don't be afraid of that region B stuff that it says, because it says B right here, but it's actually all region, because this was playing on my Xbox and then another Blu-ray player that I tested on. Same with ABCs of Death, which we'll get into later. But The Reef is all killer, no filler. It is fucking tight nastiness, and I absolutely love it, and I want to thank the Movie Room for sending it over. It's one of my favorite shark films, period. Now, I think Black Water is a better movie. I think it's a better movie because the story is maybe crazier, right? And the footage that they use of the crocodiles, it's just more effective. There's more blood, there's more gore, and I feel like there's longer periods of time where nothing happens because they can't get in the water with this crocodile. I love Black Water. I got a bunch of reviews on it. Check those out. It's high up there in my creature features. But The Reef, this is the second best shark movie probably ever. Probably ever. Everybody I talk to feels the same way. So you guys got to pick this thing up. Head over to the Movie Room right now. Thanks to Michael and Deb over there for sending it over. Use my code Beyond10. I watched all the special features Friday night because I was so impressed with how good it looked that I just wanted to know more of the story. There's a few hours of great special features on there. It's kind of cool how they show the sharks and how they're talking about how they like put the footage together. Super interesting, amazing film. You guys got to check it out. For more, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, talk some shit down there. Have you seen The Reef? Does it work for you? Because there's moments where this movie's kind of slow, where they're kind of just treading water and they have to make decisions like, do we keep swimming? Is this guy going to stay with the group? Like not a lot happens because there's just one or two decisions you can make. And the director zooms in on that and you feel this real fucking sense of urgency, pacing, and survival. I don't feel like any of that's boring, but for me, I do think that this is like I said, I don't want to just belabor the point just over and over and over again. The only thing that's kind of annoying, as much as the great white shark is my favorite fucking shark, one of my favorite things, we got Jaws, we got a megalodon, I just fucking worship sharks, man. The true story had to do with the tiger shark. So I think that would have been just as effective as something like even open water using blues and fucking, you know what I mean? Or white tip, oceanic, anything. Like, as much as I love the great white, it'd be great if they just stuck to the original story. Doesn't make it less effective as an apex predator as a film. Guys, until next time, you know what to do. Take good care of yourselves. Until next time. Cheers.